Before we begin, I want you to meet a young man who has been sleeping on a concrete floor, praying that today will be the day his voice finally gets heard. He has no agent, no fancy connections, and he spent his last few dollars just to get here. What he is about to do in the next 3 minutes will not only change his life forever, but it will also force a room full of hardened critics to wipe tears from their eyes. If stories of ordinary people achieving the extraordinary inspire you, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss a moment like this. The lights dimmed in the auditorium, and the hum of the crowd settled into a restless whisper. The next contestant walked onto the stage, and frankly, the initial reaction from the audience was one of quiet skepticism. He was a young man, maybe 19 or 20 years old, wearing a pair of worn-out sneakers with soles that were visibly separating from the fabric. His shirt, though clean, was faded and had a small tear at the collar he tried to hide by tugging at it nervously. He walked to the center mark on the stage, his eyes wide as he took in the sheer size of the venue and the 4 famous judges sitting before him. He introduced himself as Eli, and when asked where he was from, he hesitated. He quietly said he was from a small town, but for the last 6 months, he had been living out of his car, moving it from parking lot to avoid being harassed by the police. The lead judge, a man known for his blunt honesty and critical eye, leaned forward. He asked Eli why he hadn't mentioned this in his pre-audition interview. Eli shrugged, a sad smile on his face. He said he didn't want sympathy, he just wanted a fair chance to sing. He explained that his mother had passed away 2 years ago, and without her, the family fell apart. He had been working odd jobs, but the money always went to keeping his younger sister in school, leaving nothing for himself. He told the judges that the only thing he had left that was truly his was his mother's favorite song, the one she used to sing to him when he was scared. He said he was here to sing it for her. The auditorium fell into a deep, respectful silence. The judges exchanged glances, the weight of his words settling over the panel. The cynical judge, the one who usually rolls his eyes at sob stories, simply nodded and gestured for Eli to begin. The music started softly, a simple piano melody that filled the vast space. And then, Eli opened his mouth to sing. The first note was tentative, a little shaky, betraying his nerves. But as he moved into the second line of the song, something shifted. His voice, which had started as a whisper, grew into a resonant, powerful tenor that seemed to wrap around every person in the room. He poured every ounce of loneliness, every night of hunger, every tear he had shed for his mother into that performance. It was raw, it was real, and it was absolutely beautiful. Just as he hit the emotional peak of the song, the part where his mother's voice used to soar, a technical glitch occurred. The microphone cut out. For a split second, the audience gasped, thinking the magic was broken. But Eli didn't stop. He stepped back from the dead microphone, and without any amplification, his voice filled the entire theater. It was louder, purer, and even more powerful than before. The sound technicians fumbled to fix the issue, but the damage was done, or so everyone thought. The sound cutout actually revealed that he didn't need their technology, his talent was entirely his own. By the time the sound was restored, the entire audience was on its feet, clapping in time with the music. As the final note faded, there was a moment of absolute stillness. Then, the place erupted. The applause was deafening. The audience was cheering, waving their hands in the air. On the judges' panel, the toughest critic, a woman known for her stoic demeanor, was openly crying, dabbing her eyes with a tissue. The cynical male judge was shaking his head in disbelief, a huge grin on his face. The head judge stood up, and the crowd noise slowly died down, eager to hear his verdict. He looked at Eli, who was trembling, tears streaming down his own face. The judge said he had been in this business for decades, and he had heard thousands of singers. But he had rarely, if ever, witnessed such a pure expression of the human soul. He praised Eli for his courage, not just for coming on the show, but for surviving. Then, the judge turned to his colleagues for their votes. One by one, they gave a resounding yes. But before the last judge could speak, the host walked onto the stage, holding the golden buzzer. The host looked at the judges, who all nodded in unison. The host walked over to the buzzer, looked Eli in the eyes, and slammed it down. Golden confetti exploded from the ceiling, showering the stage in a cascade of light. Eli dropped to his knees, sobbing, as the entire theater shook with the force of the crowd's approval. The judges rushed to the stage to embrace him. The cynical judge hugged him tightly and whispered something in his ear that made Eli cry even harder. Later, lip readers speculated he said, "Your mom is watching, and she is proud." From sleeping in a car to standing under a rain of golden confetti, Ellis' life changed in the span of a single song. It was a stark reminder that talent doesn't care about your address, and dreams don't demand a down payment. Before we go, I would love to know where you are watching this incredible story from today. Drop your country or city in the comments below. I read them every night, and I want to see just how far around the world this moment reached. Thank you for watching.